up? It's Chris Young. What do you say we spend a little bit of time talking about the features and how to use them of your awesome new Cougar travel trailer? Okay, so here we are up front. Why am I holding this? Well, I'll show you in a minute. First off, you got the Lippert powered tongue jack on this one. You'll notice with the two rocker switches right here, one controls the LED light, the other controls the actual moving up and down of the hitch itself. Extend and retract right there. Now, if for some reason this powered tongue jack does not end up working, you do have a manual override. Just remove the rubber nozzle right there. You'll notice that this fits the components right there. Slide that on there safe and secure, and then you can turn it depending on which way you want to go. And I'm going to hang on to this because we're going to show you here in a second what else you can use it for. Now, right behind is our 30-pound LP tanks. And you'll notice that you have a supply switch that can either go to this tank or it can go to this tank. Now, my indicator back here is showing green, which means I do have gas flowing outside of these tanks. But if for some reason this indicator is red and you do have the tanks open, that means you don't have any gas. You want it equally dividing the gas coming out of the tanks, put it in the middle, and there you go. And also, when you're putting the cover back on, a good rule of thumb, those tabs that you see on top right there, make sure they are facing back, because when you're going down the road, the wind could easily get up under here and knock those off. Right behind is the battery box, which you'll see is covered up, but the battery disconnect is also located right here. You got it for on, off, and if you're going to do some solar charging on your battery, make sure the battery disconnect is on, because the battery will not charge while it's off. Now, Cougar travel trailers come with auto leveling, not just stabilizer jacks, they are leveling jacks. And you'll notice the controls are most of the time inside. Now, if you do have a default for some reason, when you cut the jacks on, you'll hear a beep and it'll say which jack is incorrect. A good way to reset all of them is to bring all of them down by holding the controls down. Once they're down, push and hold retract. Don't just push it, push and hold it for a couple of seconds. It'll bring everything back up individually, and then that error code will clear. But to just auto level, once you see that it says ready and you got full voltage, just push auto level and the leveling jacks will start kicking in. You'll hear them go into motion and they will level the unit for you. Now, if for some reason you need to access the manual override on your Lippert or your Lippert leveling jacks, there is a little access hole right here on the side that this portion of the tool fits. So put that in there if you need to. We're gonna put this right back here. And you hear that auto leveling kicking in, right? Look at how beautiful that smells. Okay. Cougars also come with what's known as off-the-grid solar. So there is a solar panel on top of it. It's a 170 watt, and right here is your quick connect. So if you want to trickle charge your battery, you absolutely can right there. This is your external command center, as I like to call. Sometimes you'll see these, sometimes you'll see them inside the pass-through storage. You'll notice that you have a city water connection and a fresh tank fill. So when you're hooked up right here, if you're going to city water, just make sure you have it down there. If not, and you have it there and water pressure is constantly coming out, you're gonna get a flood coming out right here. Black tank flush right here, external shower with hot and cold right there. Now, these do have the True Fit slides, which we'll show you on the inside. They also have manual overdrive, just reduces components being used to move the slide in and out. Come around and you see my Lippert Ground Control 3.0 in the rear is beginning to engage. So the auto leveling will be taking place while we're doing this. Very nice feature to have on any travel trailer. That's why I'm such a fan of the Keystone Cougars. Now, here are your terminations right here. You'll notice the gray tank and the black tank. I like to say keep these closed even when you're camping, and if you're gonna flush, do the black tank first and then the gray so that it kind of washes everything out. But even if you're hooked up at the campsite to sewer, don't leave this open, because you want water in there, or else you're gonna get the pyramid effect. And that's not a good thing. With your power, make sure too when you set up that this is properly plugged in. Some of your power cords will have an indicator light to let you know if you're getting juice or not. If you are, the light will be up. If not, just check your panel and make sure that all the breakers for your corresponding power outlet are turned on. And then don't slam your hand in the door. Spare tire. Solid ladder mounted over the top for this one, so you can get up and check on the roof. You also are set up for solar camera, or excuse me, backup camera. Here's your Key TV multi-source connection, and you'll notice this cable here actually goes to the satellite dish that's on the roof. So when you get the service, you can just plug that in, or if you have cable, plug that in right there from the campground. The water heater panel is easily accessed. I've already taken it off for you, but there's a little pull tab right here that covers the panel cover. And you'll notice with this one, you have both gas and electric. Right underneath, you'll see this on-off switch. This is your electric switch. Over here is your propane igniter. You got your anode rod right there and your pressure valve. So if you ever need to relieve pressure, if you're changing the anode or winterization or whatever, you can just pull that or release some of the pressure. And if you do need to do a full reset, just press and hold these, and that's your reset. Now with Keystone, you get the solid step above steps. What that means is these are solid steps with adjustable feet on the ground. I'm gonna open the door so I can kind of show you. Lift these up right here, and you'll notice we have these little push tabs that allow us to move the legs in and out. And it's important that when you do let your legs down, that they are even and stable on the ground. Because if you notice right now, it's not. I could easily break something, or even worse, hurt somebody. So use that to get a stable connection onto the ground before you go into your unit. And when stowing these away, make sure the door is completely open. You got the pull tab right here to keep these in place while in transit, and then to get them down, just pull the tab out, slowly walk them out. Once again, make sure the door is open. And last but not least, with the steps, you want to make sure that this is as flush as possible all the way down, because if not, if it's lifted up, the door won't properly shut, and that can be adjusted by just adjusting the feet. Now, if your unit does have an external grill or an external kitchen like this one, you'll notice this one has the capital grill, which is the radiant, but this tube right here is what connects to the LP Quick Connect, which you'll see underneath. You got the little valve right there, which means it's open. Now it's closed. Even if this is disconnected and the valve is open, no gas is gonna flow, because this releases a little valve that lets the gas come out. So if you have your own grill that you wanna bring with you, there you go. The back of our 35K BTU furnace, our Key TV multi-source connection right there. So if you wanna hook up some outside entertainment, you can. Power. This is the vent to our hood inside the kitchen. Our external speakers right there. And of course, your external shower with hot and cold. And you'll see you have a couple of different options for what it can do, what type of spray you want to use. If you want the full coverage, if you want middle, or if you just want the little rings on the inside, there you go. And last but not least, here on the outside, you'll see that we have the Solera power awning. These have light strips on them. They also have the adjustable pitch. You just grab the arm and can pull down and can adjust the pitch. And you'll notice too that there's a little rubber nozzle right here. Oh! When it's raining, you always want to be careful about that right there. But that little rubber nozzle right there can be removed. And you can access the manual override for your awning with a little 7/16" drill bit. And then you have magnetic latches on your storage doors. They're also anti-slam with covered hinges. And last but not least, on the outside here, if you do have Furion side vision, you can get this set up through our service folks. This is a great safety feature to have on your RV. So now that we've seen some of the things on the outside, let's go check out the inside. So here we are on the inside. Now, right away, you're gonna notice the in-command control panel. Hit the home button, enter your passcode, and right here, you can check and do everything from run your HVAC to cut on the lights. You'll see they're all on right now. To run out the slides and awnings, if I need to, there's my toggle switches. I can check my fresh tanks. Now you notice this one is one that comes equipped with the tank heaters, which means there's a 12-volt pad under the fresh tank and the waste tank. That's there so that when you're going down the road, it will not freeze when you get in super cold conditions. But the tanks will not cut on above 40 degrees. So you do have a little bit of a fail-safe right there. I can also cut on my water heater. You have gas, electric, or the combo. This does have the Suburban 20K water heater on it, and you do have that 6-gallon bypass with a 16-gallon recovery per hour. But if you want to get super fast showers, like if you're doing back-to-back, just hit gas and electric. That'll get you going even faster. But that's your in-command system right there. Since we got the bathroom right across from me, Let's come in here and talk a little bit about this Dometic porcelain bowl that we have right here with the foot flush. Now, you'll notice that underneath there is a rubber seal and a paddle that is holding the water in the tank. If I hit the foot flush, and for some reason, if I bring the paddle back up and the water keeps going, that means that the seal is bad. You can actually just take some Vaseline or some grease, open up the paddle, put that underneath that rubber seal, just make sure you have some gloves on, and boom, you're good to go. Some of them will even have a control knob on the tube accessing the tank, so that if you need to cut it off, you can. It's not on all models, but it is on some. We have the glass enclosed shower right here. And right here with your shower nozzle, this is how you can control the spray of water. You just turn it. It's much like the residential ones, so it just changes the flow of water that's coming out. I always like to recommend too, they do have some of those, the aerated, they give you the higher pressure if you get a chance to do that. You also have the blade air conditioner in this. What that does is that distributes the air evenly. Now, with the Cougars, you have a 15K BTU main, and in the master bedroom, you can get an additional 13.5 BTU air conditioner. And you'll notice with these are the Coleman Machs. They are ducted, but they also have the quick cool dump right here, which really cools down the area quickly, but when you're ready for it to go through the ducting, just close that out. Your vents also have filters, which are located right here. Just take those out to clean them. If you do realize that you've cut your unit on and you're not getting AC, check your in-command panel, make sure you got enough power. If you're plugged up at the post, but you're still not getting power, check the circuit breakers there at the post. Make sure if you got 50 and you're plugged into 50 that it's on. If you're still not getting juice and it's still not showing that it's coming on with the in-command panel, check the circuit breaker box. If you'll notice, the circuit breaker panels are usually located with a black box like this right here. And they are LED lit, which means if they're faulty, there will be a red LED light next to the circuit that's bad. Then you can just replace it. If you check that and you still don't have your air conditioner running, bring it in, let one of our service techs take care of it for you. Now, these also come with the Lippert controls for driving. It's a pulley system that drives the slide in and out. You can control it from the one command, from the command panel right there, or your cell phone. But if you do need a manual override, there is a hex bolted manual override located at the top of the slide. I will give you a warning there though. It's a pain in the butt and it's going to take you a lot of time. With your entertainment, a lot of the Cougars are going to come with the Furion AM/FM command center right here. These do have near field communication. They're Bluetooth, plus you can download an app much like the command center. Their CD DVD player. They do have the USB, the dual zones. You can play the music inside and out. But the HDMI cable, which connects from the entertainment center to the TV, is actually on the back side of the Furion command center. So whatever you do, try not to mess with that. Just leave that in place, and you'll see you got your Key TV multi-source connections right there as well. Get all of your entertainment going, but just watch out for that HDMI on the back, because if it does come disconnected, it is a pain in the butt to get it plugged back in. Right here, you have your InnoFlame fireplaces. Now, these are awesome because they are electric. You can change the colors. You can change the backlighting. You can change the temperature as well as the flow of the air. You can even set a timer on it. And most of these are roughly 4,700 BTUs of heat. They are electric, but for once again, if they're not operating, you are plugged into shore power, and you're showing that you got enough voltage to run everything, at least 11.8, hopefully 12 higher, then you need to bring this into service so we can help you out with it. Now, yours may come with the Norcold fridge freezer combo, like you see right here, 10 cubic foot. And some of them also have the Dometic 8 cubic foot fridge freezer combo. But this Norcold right here, you'll notice this is our power. This is 12 volt. This takes up and down depending on which component you want to make warmer or colder. Obviously, the higher the number, the colder it's going to be. This indicates I'm working on the fridge. This indicates I'm working on the freezer. So I can move that up or down depending on how cold I want it. And this right here is a night mode. What that does is that cuts the compressor down to half speed for 8 hours. So if you have some people sleeping here in the living area, you can cut that on and this will run a whole lot more quiet than, you know, during the day. And after 8 hours, it'll just come right back up to regular. A lot of the units you're going to have will have the recliners. The recliners will have a light, which is just a little LED accent light. They'll also have massage, which is what this button is. And they'll also have heat, which is what that button is. So if you ever wonder what those are, that's what they're for. And then you have your USB charging right there. Now, if you do have a booth dinette, the great thing about the Keystone Cougars is the bottom is a solid pad. It's a solid piece of wood giving you some additional support. So if you want to turn this into a sleeper, let me show you how to do that real quick. You'll notice that the table right here is on some legs. So what we're going to do, and this might be a little bit wonky, we're just going to take the table. Just be careful because it is kind of heavy. Set that out of the way. Remove the legs, and you'll notice the legs are tapered at both ends, so it's easy to go in and out of the tabletop. Set those right there, and then you'll see right here how we have a lip that's going to support the bed. So the bed is actually our table. Put that on the lip right here, if I can get it in there. Lower that down like that so that it's on the lip. Now you can take these cushions out. Nestle those in, and now you got yourself another sleeping area. You also notice with the Keystone Cougars, as far as the shades go, all you have are the blackout shades. Don't worry about that. They work great. Plus they help keep the unit colder. Over here in the kitchen, you'll see I have my hood and my fan right there. You have the Greystone microwave, and you have the Furion cooktop and oven right here, which the glass folds up. You'll see your grates right here. Your controls as well as your lights are right there. And you'll notice that each one of them has these little icons. So for example, if I wanted to cut on this front burner, which is indicated by this one right here, I'm gonna turn this. You just gotta push it and turn it. Now, if I wanna cut it on, you gotta turn this, but you can only turn it in one direction. And boom, there's my heat. Now you can control the heat and the flame with your knob right there. If it's red, that means it's on. Now, if you're not getting any gas when you do that, just check to make sure that your tanks have gas and that your tanks are on and flowing. Same thing for your Furion oven right here. You got your main control right there. You push and hold and then turn to light. And then once again, if you do not have gas or you don't, you can usually smell it. But if you don't have gas, just check to make sure that you do have gas in there. And then in here in your bedroom, you will notice that you do have some strut supported storage underneath. Just be careful lifting that up because that can be hard. And your windows do have the pull down shades like we have right here, but over time this will become loose. So if you need to tighten that up, you can actually just take your finger and wrap it around the knob, but just make sure you do it on both sides, because what that's going to do is that's going to increase the tension so that your shade is easier to push up and it'll stay up and it won't be wonky and sideways because you got equal tension on both sides. And hopefully that has helped you figure out how to use some of the great components inside your Cougar travel trailer. As always, if you need more information, we have great service techs and people standing by to help you out to make sure that camping experience is the best that it can be.